Welcome back, guys, and thanks for stopping by. Today I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, and I'm just here for 2 days and I'm on a mission. So almost exactly 2 years ago I was in this exact place with my Mavic Pro, and I was able to fly above the rivers over here, and it was a great flight. And I wanted to come back today because I always thought I could have done a better job with that video, but things have changed since then and it's much more restrictive to fly drones in Canada. So today I'm going to see what it takes to fly a drone in Canada if you have something like the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic Air, just a lightweight consumer drone from DJI. I'm going to see what the regulations are and what kind of hoops I have to do to jump through as an American citizen from another country coming into Canada. Is it possible? Coming right up. Okay, so let's jump into Google and let's look up what we need to fly in Canada if you are a non-Canadian. Alright, so I will search on Canada drone laws, and next I'm going to go into the Transport Canada website. According to Transport Canada, so first off is I'll need to have a drone certificate for anything that is over 250 grams, and that is basically a ½ pound. I need to register my drone. So that'll be a fee, that's no big deal. So things to keep in mind while I'm flying is to maintain visual line of sight. That's a requirement. I need to stay below 122 meters or 400 feet in this case. I need to stay away from people 30 meters horizontally. I need to stay away from any kind of emergency operations. And I need to stay away from airports. In Canada, I need to stay at least 3 miles away. So as you can see, these are very similar to the rules that you would have in the United States, except for the airports, it's 3 miles instead of 5 miles. But in this case, I'm not anywhere near any airports. So, all right, penalties for individuals. This can be up to $1,000 without having the proper certificate if the drone is unmarked, if it's unregistered, or it's just not allowed to fly in the area. So I definitely don't want to pay a $1,000 fine just to fly a drone just so I can take pictures showing a place that I've been to. So according to the bullet items above, I need to get a drone certificate. So let's do that, and then we'll register the drone. So getting the drone certificate, you got two options. I'm going to choose the basic option. Looks like I need to take an online exam. So that for this exam, you must be at least 14 years old. It's 35 questions. You have 90 minutes to complete it, and you have to pass with a 65%. So I need to get 23 questions right. No big deal. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to go with English. Okay, so to take the exam, you must have a Transport Canada account. Alright, so let me see what the requirements are for a Transport Canada account. Spoiler alert, this is kind of where things start to head a little bit south. So after setting up an account, I get all the way to the bottom and it shows the following regarding citizenship. Foreign residents are not eligible to register or operate a drone in Canada. You must apply for a special flight operations certificate. Okay, so let's check and see what's needed for this special flight operations certificate, or they call it an SFOC, SFOC. So who needs to apply for the SFOC? Going through all the bullet items, if you are not a Canadian citizen, you need to apply for an SFOC. Alright, so how to apply? I need to complete this application for the SFOC. It's a PDF form, so basically print that out, fill it out, and then I email it back to them. Okay, so it says to apply as soon as possible before you plan on using your drone. So I would say to, if you're going to do this well in advance of your trip to Canada, because it might take them a long time to actually respond to it. Who knows? Okay, so let's check out this PDF. All right, so it asks for the name, the address, business, incorporated, that kind of stuff. Is this your first SFOC request? In my case, yes, it's my first request. So what is the type of SFOC request? And for my specific use case, I am a foreign operator, a pilot, because I'm a non-Canadian going to Canada just to fly my drone and take some pictures of an area that I'm interested in. Okay, so if you are a foreign operator, It says you must have an approved SFOC to fly a drone for any purpose, whether it's recreational, work, or research. So if you're non-Canadian, you have to have this SFOC request form approved. It also says, and this is kind of odd, you must already be allowed to use the drone for the same purpose in your home country. Anytime that I fill out a form online or via paper, and then you have to print it out and then email it back or send it back to a mailing address, I feel like a little bit of me dies inside. I don't really ever have any confidence that anybody is actually going to receive that on the other end. You have no idea when they're going to respond or if they're going to respond. It feels like it just kind of goes into a black hole. And that's kind of the whole problem with trying to fly a drone in Canada if you are not a Canadian. You have to do all of these things up front well in advance of your trip to Canada. So for the example of somebody that's just going for a vacation or for a quick trip, you're there for a couple of days, you really have no idea necessarily where you want to fly the drone. You're just looking for a good opportunity. So the planning that you would need to take into account to find a suitable spot and then get the needed paperwork in order makes it very unlikely that you're going to be able to do that ahead of time and get it approved so that you can fly at a specific time on a specific date, because I don't plan vacations like that. I don't plan work travel like that. It's just if I have a free moment, I'm going to put the drone up, but I never plan my day around it. So I filled out the PDF. I mailed the SFOC back to the email address that was provided earlier. So as it stands now, I've yet to receive anything back from the group that manages these SFOC requests. So I did this back on July 14th. I was in Winnipeg on the 15th and 16th, and right now it is August 7th, 2019, and I have not received anything back to either confirm that I can fly or I can't fly, or even to confirm that they've received the request. So that's 3 weeks. So you would need to apply well in advance of 3 weeks just to be sure. Based on this, I don't think it's reasonable that you can actually fly a drone in Canada if you're a non-Canadian, if you have a drone like a Mavic Air, a Mavic 2 Pro, a Phantom, or something kind of in that weight range, unless they get these approvals processed much faster. But if you're going to have to email forms in and then wait days versus weeks, it's just not something that's feasible for folks to do if they're there for just random travel, vacation, work type related trips. And that's a shame, because Canada is a beautiful country. And to be clear, I would have no problem paying a $10 fee to register a drone. I wouldn't even have a problem with having to take a basic knowledge test of 35 questions and make sure you're competent enough to fly. I think that's totally reasonable, actually. But to do the paperwork and then have it possibly take a month or more to turn around, those are the things that just make it not worth doing ahead of time, because nobody can really plan that far in advance when you're talking about something as trivial as just putting a drone up in the air for a few minutes to take some nice photos. So guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Personally, I hope this is just a temporary situation that will change once drones become, as common as having smartphones. Also, I'm curious to know if any of you out there have ever filled out one of these SFOC requests. How did it go? Did you get a response back? Were you approved? Were you denied? Did they ask for more information? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your story, and I'm sure others would as well. Okay, so guys, if you like these videos, hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe down below, and share them with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.